So just want to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Jessica Van. I'm founder and CEO of Maven Recruiting Group. Thank you all for being here. We're really pleased to have you here. This is our second event of this series. It's a series that we're calling Admins on the Rise. The goal of these events is really to, fill what we see as kind of a void in the world of the EA community, excuse me, and that there's really not much of a community. So our goal with these events is to really help foster and identify a space for you guys to learn from esteemed people like these ladies to my right, but also to meet one another, to gather ideas, to re-energize, to find possibly some sage words that are going to help direct you or guide you or help you think through an issue that you're having. So I want to thank you guys all for being here to help us in our effort to do that. The focus that we have for tonight's evening is on this idea of transitioning, right? And transitioning industries, transitioning spaces. And those of you who've ever tried to navigate that know that it can often be a little bit difficult, if not a little bit daunting. So I'm curious to know, for those of you, which is all of you, who've made this transition, what challenges do you feel like you encountered in positioning yourself?
So it was a little bit of a challenge to help people, to help employers understand like what I had to truly offer. And I think that's one thing as an executive assistant, is that you are going to have to work very hard on that end to make sure that you're getting across what it is you have to offer.
I had been an admin for a long time. I'd been a receptionist, I'd been a studio coordinator, I'd supported people, but I'd never officially had that EA title. So when I was looking for a new job, I knew I wanted to become an EA, but it was more about figuring out like how I can show them that I have the skills of an EA, but I've just never officially had that title. So like she said, they only see this piece of paper with your background, but if you can dig in deeper and start talking like more about your experience and the type of things they're looking for and really focus on that and make sure that you're bringing it up, I think that really helped me with the challenge.
The way I kind of challenge myself when I'm looking for a position is that I'll, say, okay, who is my audience here? How can I speak their language? What are they looking for? And then I draw out all the things I've done over the years and I highlight those. And I don't necessarily, and I try to do it in a way where the rest of that will kind of fall in the background and they'll just see like the overarching experience that applies. I also think each industry has its own language. And the language I was used to in Hollywood was different when I got to tech in Austin, different than finance. So there's a bit of a way where you have to kind of pick. I read a lot before I go into interviews, and you have to kind of pick up on their lingo and what they say and what they care about, so that they feel like, oh, you're here and you're with us and you get us.
Does anyone have a favorite idiom that they hear repeated in their specific industry? Like, I'm sure Hollywood had some fun language. Does anyone have any examples of language that really typifies what the culture is all about?
Well, culture itself as being, it's all about the culture at a startup.
Sure, that word in itself is very loaded. It's
yeah.
Culture.
Yeah.
Synergies, the low-hanging fruit. Into a corner. At the end of the day.
There's so many.
There's so many. I feel like the tech world is just that's their jam. That's all they do is create terms. Yeah. It's just never ending.
Never ends.
Yeah. I think bandwidth and I'll ping you. I'm like, so you're gonna what me? Does that mean email? Does that mean text? It took me a second to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, wait, what?